getting ready to weigh. When you're being asked to weigh something for a recipe, sometimes it's really important that you get this as accurate as possible, particularly if you're baking something, or if, in the case of our stuffed peppers, you have to hydrate your couscous. If we get the ratio of either the hot water or the couscous wrong, it won't work, and you'll either have uncooked couscous or you will have a swimming pool of couscous, which we don't want. So, to weigh things, you need to ask your mum, your dad, your parent, your carer for whatever they use to weigh at home, your weighing scales. I've got electronic scales here, and at school we have electronic scales. If you have scales which require physical weights to be added to them, then you need to check with your parents and carers for how to use those. However, this is how you use electronic scales. The first thing I want you to do is to find whatever it is you're going to weigh the ingredients in. I've got some pasta here, and if I was just to pour these onto the scales, it would go everywhere. So I need to have a bowl to collect them in. The next thing to say is that you put your bowl on top of the scales before you turn your scales on. Otherwise, if I press the scales on and then put the bowl on top, I'll be weighing the weight of my bowl before I start weighing any pasta. So I'm now going to switch the scales on with the bowl on top, and then I look at what the scales tell me. It should start and have a 0 on it. The 0 means that there's nothing in the bowl yet, and the bowl has been added before I've pressed on. Now the units of measurement that I want you to be working in is grams. There could well be other units of measurement that your scales might say, for example millilitres, ml, or OZ for ounces, but I want you to find where it says G for grams. If it does not say G for grams, I'd like you to check with your parent or carer for how you can make that go to 0 and G for grams. Once you're on 0G, you then take whatever it is that you're being asked to weigh and you start to pour it into the bowl. I'm going to weigh for you 100 grams of pasta. To do this, I take my pasta, and it says 0G on my scales, and I start adding my pasta to the bowl slowly. Now for most of the things that we'll be weighing in food and nutrition, it doesn't matter if you are 5 or up to 10 grams out. It becomes a problem if you're more than 10 grams below or more than 10 grams above, but 10 grams is absolutely fine either way. So I've weighed this out and I've got to 98 grams. I need to very carefully maybe add one more piece of pasta, and that takes it to 100 grams. So when I say that 10 grams either way doesn't make too much difference, that is 10 grams too much or too little. So please don't worry, as long as you've got within 10 grams either way, you should be able then to weigh out any of the ingredients you're being asked to weigh. Please make sure you are accurate with this, and please make sure your bowl is on the scales before you switch it on, and that it says 0G before you weigh anything. Hope you get on successfully with weighing.